Good morning. First, let me help you out here. I'm not going to stand on this podium. I hate to stand up here and try to talk down to people. Back when I was young, I would just jump off this thing and land on my feet. But I'm a little older now, so a little wiser, I'm going to walk on down. My name is Captain Bob Johnson. I am the Director of Admissions at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. I graduated from the United States Military Academy at West Point. I am and will always be an infantry officer by choice. I say that by choice because a lot of people assume that when you go infantry, you're forced to go there. And I'm proud to say, even at West Point now, more and more kids are volunteering to go infantry, which is the toughest branch of service that you could ever hope to be a part of. I've done some great and exotic things during my military career, and I would do it all over again. Again, I went to West Point because I wanted to lead men. Nothing against women, but I wanted to lead men, and I had an opportunity to do that for over 30 years, and I've commanded various levels, and I can truly say it has been a blast. Truly say it has been a blast. Before I go any further, you need to understand something about all the service academies. We are not competing against each other. We are not. You have to choose the school that is right for you. You must choose the school that is right for you. If you're interested in being in ground warfare, West Point's the place to go. If you're interested in flying fixed-wing aircraft, you got a couple of options, either Air Force or Navy. If you're interested in Homeland Security, you got the Coast Guard. If you're interested in just doing something to serve your country and going into either branch of service and function as logisticians, then you have us. I've been doing this now at the Merchant Marine Academy since 2004, and when I started this, having had the opportunity to listen to the people present, never could truly understand what we did at Kings Point. I could sit down, I'd listen to them, and after 20 minutes, I still didn't know what the hell a merchant mariner was. When I got there, my goal was to make sure that when I leave here, you will know exactly what we do. We deliver. We deliver. Everything from the shoes on your feet, the clothes on your back, fresh fruits and vegetables you had an opportunity to eat this morning, the car you drove in on, the refrigerator, iPod, TVs, all of that came over on merchant vessels. We delivered. 93% of the materials that went over to prosecute the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq went over on merchant vessels. We deliver. Now, America is the most powerful country in the free world, and we're that way for two reasons. One, our military. Two, our economy. We are the only service academy inherent in its mission. The only service academy inherent in its mission designed to make this country great. Why? Because the mission of the United States Merchant Marine Academy is to educate and graduate Merchant Marine officers and leaders of honor and integrity who will serve in the maritime industry and or the armed forces. That's right, serve in the maritime industry and or the armed forces, because we're the only service academy that will allow you to go into any branch of service upon graduation. You can go into the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, or Coast Guard and contribute to the economic, defense, and homeland security interests of our nation. No other service academy can do that. Again, you go to West Point, you're going in the Army. You go to the Navy, you're going in the Navy. Air Force, you're going in the Air Force. Coast Guard, you're going to the Coast Guard. Come to Kings Point, you can go into any branch of service. Furthermore, we would like you, though, to serve in the maritime industry as a civilian, because our economy is so important to us. We pay for your education because we want to make sure that we have the best qualified people to move our goods and services to make sure that we maintain the status of being the most powerful economic nation in the world. The most powerful economic nation in the world. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt said it best at the end of World War II when he stated, "They delivered the goods when and where needed in every theater of operation, in every continent, in what was considered to be the most biggest, difficult, and dangerous job ever undertaken." We deliver. We deliver. At the end of World War II, Dwight Eisenhower, who realized how important merchant marines were, made one of the most boldest and prolific statements that I can remember when he stated that America's industrial prosperity and military security demand we maintain a privately owned merchant marine of adequate size and modern design to keep our lines of supply open both in peacetime as well as in war. Again, we deliver. Now, we've been in business of maritime trade ever since 1874. There are 6 schools that have been doing it, but it took a catastrophic accident aboard a ship called the Moreau Castle where 134 people were burned to death. At that point, with the Merchant Marine Act of 1934, the federal government decided to establish the premier maritime institution. That's when Kings Point was established. We were dedicated in 1943, and we've been in business ever since. We got 21,000 graduates. Again, we have a student body of a little bit over 1,000. I recruit from all 50 states to include the territories, and we were the first Federal Service Academy to admit women. We have a very challenging and demanding academic program. Again, we have some of the best engineering simulators, some of the best nautical science simulators. We have what we call the Sea Year. Sea Year, that's where you will spend at least 300 to 365 days out at sea, having an opportunity to go to at least 6 different continents, 21 different countries. And you'll do that while you're still a student. We have our own training vessel, which will allow you to, again, continue your training while at school to make sure that you get the requisite hours that will allow you to get your license. Now, when you graduate from Kings Point, just like when you graduate from any service academy, you'll get 2 things. You'll get that commission, and you'll get that Bachelor of Science degree. But Kings Point will give you one extra thing. It'll give you a Coast Guard license. That license will allow you to, upon graduation day, to sail upon any size ship, unlimited tonnage, to move goods and services anywhere across the world. How well have we been doing at that? Our last graduating class, 67% of those are doing exactly what we asked them to do. They're sailing on their Coast Guard license. About 9 to 10% are working in the maritime industry ashore. About 20 to 25% chose to go active duty. And they went into any branch of service. We had our graduates go into the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and Coast Guard. So we're doing exactly what the federal government has paid us to do. You want to find out some more detailed experiences about it, I have a midshipman back there who will talk to you about his experiences, talk to you about why he came. And again, you can get that type of information, as well as my parents who are volunteering to help explain to you their experiences and what we do there. I will leave you with what I started with. You cannot go wrong by going to any service academy. You have to choose the school that is right for you. You have to choose the school that is right for you. I'll leave you with this story. I've been doing this now, as you heard from Johnny, and again, I've known Johnny when he was a congressman. I'll tell you, our first Academy Day, when we did it, we only had 2 kids there. Only had 2 kids. And to stand up here now and look and see how far it's grown, it's just amazing. It's just amazing. But when kids, as you're sitting out there, you're trying to apply to schools, you're sitting around, and you're filling out all your applications, doing all the things you're supposed to do, then all of a sudden mom and dad will walk up to you and say, have you thought about going to a service academy? Now, again, being a kid once, I remember these things. You may not believe that, but yes, I was young once. Mom and dad says, well, have you thought about going to a service academy? Usually the kid thinks he's one step ahead of mom anyway. Says, no, Mom, I'm trying to help you guys out. It costs you $50 a pop to apply to a college, so I saved you some time. I figured I wouldn't apply to a service academy. Mom, who's also a little bit smarter, steps back and says, don't worry about it, it's free, so apply. Young man, young woman, they'll go on and apply to Army, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, Merchant Marine, as well as to University of Georgia, North Georgia College, Vanderbilt, Georgia Tech. And all of a sudden, they're sitting there trying to wait and see who's going to let them know if they're coming. They get a letter from the Air Force Academy saying, congratulations. Now, when the letter comes to the house, mom's the first somebody to get the letter, and she's going to try to respect your privacy. But the first thing mom does, she takes that letter and holds it up to a light. She's looking for one word, congratulations, nothing else beyond that. One word. Once she sees that, she's okay. Now, I've talked to some parents, and they told me, what we do now is we steam the letter open, look at it and put it back. I said, okay, I got it. Johnny or Jane comes home and mom meets him at the door. You got a letter. It's from Naval Academy. And he says, here, open it up. Junior will look at it and says, no, Mom, I'll wait. I don't feel like opening it up right now. Mom says, no, open the letter. Opens it up and says, congratulations, you've been accepted to the United States Naval Academy. And Mom looks at him and says, oh, that's so great, that's so great. He says, yeah, Mom, it is. Turn around, go to school the next day. Principal says, there's going to be an assembly. I want everybody here to form up in the auditorium. We're having an assembly in Junior's honor. Junior, come on up here, we need to talk to you. Junior comes up, looks around and says, sir, what did I do? Nothing. I just heard you got accepted to the Naval Academy. Well, how? Mom told me. Junior gets the accolades, feeling pretty good about himself, turns around this Sunday, goes to church. Sits up there, going to church. Now, you know when you're in church, minister stops the service and says, before I pass the plate, Junior, come forward here for a minute. Junior comes on up and he says, well, Pastor, what am I here for? I just heard you got accepted to Air Force Academy. Oh. Have a seat right here on this front row. We're going to save this pew and name it after everybody who gets the opportunity to go to a service academy. Sits down at the pew, everybody's happy. All of a sudden, Junior's going back home. About another week later, he gets that letter from Georgia Tech. It says, congratulations, you're accepted. Same time, it says it'll cost you about $65,000 a year to go. Junior takes that letter over to Mom and Dad and says, hey, listen, I've got this letter. I've been accepted. Georgia Tech. Parents get together and they say, well, listen, you know, we told you we'd support you. We want you to get the education that you want, but if you go to Georgia Tech, we're going to have to sell the car, mortgage the house, and put your brother and sister up for adoption, but we're going to support you. And if at that point in time in your life you decide that I'm going to go to the Service Academy because I don't want to put my parents through all of this hardship, then you are going for the wrong reason. You are going for the wrong reason. Because once you get there, you won't be there for Mom or Dad or anybody else. You have to be there for yourself. And you don't have to be 100% sure as to why you're going to be there. You just have to be able to say to yourself, I'm going to give it a chance. I will take it one day at a time. And if you do so, this is what I can promise to you, that a metamorphosis will take place in you within the first 2 years that will allow you to embrace everything that Service Academy is all about. You'll believe in the honor system. You will see that academy as your own. And if that metamorphosis does not take place within the first 2 years, I strongly recommend that you leave because you're in the wrong place. But that's what the service academies will do for you. As I started this, you cannot go wrong by going to any service academy. We are not in competition. You have to choose the service academy that's right for you. I just happen to think you got a lot of options if you go to Kings Point. Thank you.